Inns nestled at the foot of mighty mountains, at quaint little B&Bs tucked away on quiet village streets. You'll find it along the Hudson, across the Adirondacks, on the Finger Lakes, in wineries and apple orchards. You'll find it in day trips that start early and end late, over long, lazy weekends you wish could go on forever. You'll find it drenched in color, steeped in romance, celebrating change, life, and love. That's fall. That's New York, where it all happens.
This is Governor George Pataki, inviting you to discover all there is to love about fall in New York. From Letchworth to Long Island, Chautauqua to Saratoga.
To plan your fall getaway, call 1-800-I-LOVE-NY or visit iloveny.com for your free fall vacation guide.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. See, it's a good time to introduce you to Bengal...
On the Imus morning program on the radio around the country. And on MSNBC, my lunch just arrived. So, do I have the best wife or what?
Come on.
What?
Wake up.
Wake up what?
You didn't have the sandwich when it was supposed to be there.
No.
You know what that is? That's a CYA sandwich.
A what?
CYA?
No.
That's all that is.
I don't need it till now or
I
a
don't
little later.
care.
In fact.
I don't care. It went against regulations.
Oh, well, you're just a jerk. That's what you are.
I don't care.
Please welcome now. We're going to start talking with average voters here on the Imus morning program.
All right.
From now until Election Day. This will be the first and last in our series. As we are going to talk to one voter.
This is our panel of undecideds.
Yeah, hi, sir. How are you? What's your name?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I thought you were taking a phone call. My name is John.
John. Where are you from, John?
I'm from New Jersey.
Where you are?
Yes, I am.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do. Two of them, last I heard.
Sure. And who do you intend to vote for?
Right now, I'm undecided.
Why are you undecided?
Because I don't know which way to go.
No, I understand that, but what are the issues? What will make you decide?
I'm sure the debates will have something to do with it.
The first debate or all of them?
Probably, well, the foreign policy one, yes.
That's tomorrow night.
I understand.
What will you be looking for?
Answers and opinions.
Okay, what's your primary concern? Iraq?
That has something to do with it, yes. Absolutely.
Terrorism?
Yes.
Secure. Then you're a security mom.
Dad.
Yes.
Well, we had our previous information, a pre-screening of you. We were told you were going to vote for John Kerry.
At the moment, that there's a leaning towards that situation, but there is time before the election, so the official stance is undecided.
Did you think we should have gone to war with Iraq?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I was not in favor of that.
What do you think we should do now?
I don't think we should just leave. We need to be able to stabilize the situation.
Right. So, President Bush took us to war in Iraq based on essentially lying to the American people. Wouldn't you agree with that?
No, I don't think he did.
Okay.
I'm sure he had credible evidence that there was weapons of mass destruction.
Everybody thought there was, except a few people.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah. So, Senator Kerry voted for authorizing the president to go war in Iraq.
Yes, he did.
Now he says...
I think
he's backing off the situation.
What is he? What's wrong?
I guess he did.
Yeah. So there's not much of a choice there, is except Senator Kerry says he would have done it differently, but...
But he would have done it.
But he would have done it.
That's right.
Knowing what he knows now.
Yes. So
he would have done it again.
So what would Senator Kerry have to say tomorrow night to get you to vote for him?
That we'll have to watch as we tune in. Nothing specific, there'll be. I'm sure there'll be something that comes from one of the candidates that will influence me. Maybe not. Maybe it will not come from tomorrow night. Maybe it'll come later on.
You should not be allowed to vote.
No?
No, because you're a moron.
Well,
He's looking for a free dental plan, I think.
All right, that's it.
Who'd you vote for last time?
I voted for Bush. I'm impressed with the lunch situation, especially the name on the bag. It's just, just like
So
school.
stupid.
Bring the lunch bag to school if you forgot it.
Well, I happen to have a great wife, so... Well, all she has to do...
And it came from Deidre. What happened to the love Deidre?
Well, I'm not sure.
That's a cause for concern, I would think.
I'm confident she loves me. I know she does, so I don't have...
She didn't make you lunch.
The maid screwed up.
I'm not... Well, you haven't offered much.
Thanks for nothing, John.
Sure, get out. Here on line 1. That's why we're not doing this anymore. Here's Bob from Scranton on line 1. Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. Bush came to Scranton, Kerry came to Scranton. When are you coming back?
I'll be there in the morning.
Okay, we'll be waiting for you.
Here on line 2 is Mark from New York City.
Hey, the reason I'm calling in is because I've been listening to your show before you went to Cleveland.
Thank you.
And never been tempted to call before.
Sure.
But listening to Sid over the years, when you cast for a sports announcer, did you put an ad in the newspaper that said looking for Fagan-like personality?
Yes, sir.
You know, the only thing he doesn't have is the hook nose. And I happen to be Drew from New York.
Sure.
He is the first time I've ever been offended by anybody on your show.
What did he do specifically?
Oh, making him out, the shirts, all his, the gambling, the whole Yom Kippur routine.
Yeah. How about the anti-Catholic bigotry? Doesn't that offend you?
The bigotry doesn't offend me that much. It's the fact that he's just such a typical stereotype.
Sure.
I mean, the only way you could have gotten somebody worse was if you had hired Jackie Mason.
Probably, yeah. What do you do for a living?
Financial advisor.
How's that working out for you?
Pretty good.
They let you sign the checks?
Pardon me?
Do they let you sign the checks, your clients?
Not at all. Never have, never will.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dave. I got to go. I'm
and
Mark.
by the way, I'm voting for Bush.
Okay, well, you're not a Jew then. 9 minutes till the hour here on the Irish the Morning program. Here's Dave from Connecticut. Good morning, Dave.
Hi, Don. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, where do you think Kerry dumped his wife's body? Nobody's seen her in about 6 weeks.
Well,
I bet she's taking a ride with Teddy Kennedy out on Chappaquiddick right around now.
that'll be fine. 9 minutes till the hour. Where has she been, Charles?
I guess, well, she's been out there.
There's been a big great white shark off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. Maybe he suggested she go for a swim.
That's I got a green apple. I'm looking at my lunch here.
Yeah.
I have, the hell is this?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, these are homemade chocolate chip cookies. God, this is great. This is a great lunch, isn't it?
Well, it's too little, too late, I would say.
Oh, why don't you shut up?
Well, I can't help it. I know why.
Remember these almonds soaked in that.
I know why this was rushed over here.
Oh, that's great. And then I have a great sandwich. This is a great
By
lunch.
messenger. Try to get it.
This is fabulous.
Simply to try to, you know what I mean.
But you're just a jerk.
Financial implications.
Whatever. What else going on? Well, you bring us up to speed of what's going on in the world so you can worry the rest of the day.
Well, the debate tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, we're looking at Case Western Reserve University, preparing for then the debate next Tuesday between Cheney and Edwards. Security already very tight on the campus. In Arizona, another swing state, new poll. President Bush takes a clear lead over Senator Kerry there by 11 points. The response to Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11 premiered last night in Washington. The documentary Celsius 4111, The Temperature at Which the Brain Begins to Die, that's the title, directly challenges Michael Moore's film Fahrenheit 9/11. And they're looking for distribution for the film, perhaps to come next week.
That's great.
Commerce Department. U.S. economy expands 3.3% April through June, significantly higher than previously estimated, according to the government this morning. From the war, at least 13 people dead in Iraq in a spate of ambushes, grenade attacks, and drive-bys outside the capital. 7 people were killed in the deadliest of the attacks, militants opening fire on cars carrying police officers to the south of Baghdad. Yemeni court orders 2 al-Qaeda militants executed for their roles in the suicide bombing of the USS Cole.
Good.
4 other defendants sentenced to terms of 5 to 10 in prison for the October 2000 attack in which 17 American sailors died.
Women's underwear in their future.
Apparently so.
Good.
And cross-examination of a police detective entering day 4 when the Scott Peterson double murder trial resumes in Redwood City, California today.
This is a huge week. The Apprentice tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The debate tomorrow night.
Yep.
The Trinidad fight this weekend.
Yes.
Football.
Yeah.
Monday night football.
You got it.
Tuesday night vice presidential debate.
Right.
Oh, man.
Huge.
Doesn't get any better, does it?
No, how could it?
Oh, my God.
happened to you? You look teaches that what is said.
Worked with him for years. So.
Fats. That's what everybody called him.
Oh, they did?
He called everybody Fats.
Oh, he did? Because he didn't know their name or something?
No, he did know their names. He loved it.
Fats, all right.
When he was growing up in New Orleans, Scott was 74, so it was the late 40s, and before Fats Domino was a big national star, Scott was invited to go to a number of the sessions that Fats Domino did, playing the piano and stuff, and Fats called everybody Fats.
Right.
So that's how it kind of developed, and Scott just loved that.
No.
He really loved that. He was a funny guy.
When you worked with him at any WFM? Or?
Yeah,
Right.
in the mid to late 80s and again in the 90s.
Where did he start in radio?
Well, he replaced Alan Freed in Akron, Ohio. And he had some other jobs before that. And, got these big 19 and 20 shares. And then he came to New York after that and worked at WMCA.
Right.
And then it essentially replaced Alan Freed at WABC in the early 60s, doing top 40 through the Beatles era. In 65, I believe it was, he left WABC, took a year off, ran a nightclub in the city, and then he went to the WORFM, the first commercial progressive radio station in New York City, and then was there a couple months after any WFM became a progressive rock station in late 67, and was there for 30 years.
Because when I came to New York, which was 1910, 1971, he was huge at any WFM.
Oh, he's just unbelievable. He broke records on the air. He did great interviews. Jerry Garcia came up, played poker with him.
Yeah.
Scott put a dress on one day when Elton John came up. To those who remember, who are listening, many remember Elton John reading a commercial for the Pink Pussycat. In that, it had you rolling on the floor. It was unbelievable. The things he did during the blackout, he went up to the transmitter back in, 1977.
Right.
And, he loved you, and he loved your show, and he loved Rob Bartlett imitating him. At the Hard Rock Cafe, and I can't remember which year it was, Jim Monahan was actually responsible for bringing Rob over to the Hard Rock. We used to do a week of shows from the Hard Rock.
Sure.
And there were the two of them talking as Scott Muni. It was hysterical. And then Scott trying to imitate Rob imitating Scott. But, after Scott finished up his days at NEW, he did a few years doing a noontime show over Q104. I brought him over here one day and had him do a sports show one night.
How was he?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good. Scott liked to dabble in betting on games, and I'm sure there are a lot of people laughing at that, knowing how much he dabbled in it.
Yeah.
And he had guys calling up about point spreads and the whole thing. He knew the line on every college, every NFL game, baseball, and you name it, he knew it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about it. I guess I met him probably at some time over the past 30 years. I don't remember, but that's irrelevant.
You were in a different state at the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Was he married or?
Yes. 5 children.
Wow.
And he was quite a guy, quite a character.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks.
Okay.
Mark, sure enough, on Scott Muni. Scott died yesterday at the age of 74. And up there in rock and roll heaven.
No kidding. Yep.
12 minutes after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. Ann Thompson, NBC News, outside the Women's Federal Prison in West Virginia. And here's what we have learned exclusively here on the Imus in the Morning program. And this extraordinary commitment. Dramatic, extraordinary commitment on behalf of a reporter. Ann has now agreed to actually do the time with Martha Stewart and keep a journal.
Yep.
And of course, as you know, well, first of all, good morning, Miss Thompson.
The only crime I've ever committed is going on your show.
Yeah, but well, that's a great idea. We think that if you could arrange that and then keep a journal, and then now the sleeping arrangements are a bunk bed situation or bunk bed. What do you call them?
Yeah, it's a dormitory bunk bed.
Yeah, I'd give her the bottom bunk because you don't want Big Mama climbing up there,
falling through on you.
Falling through on you. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, how are you?
Oh, I'm just great.
Well, why the hell would they send you down there a week before Big Mama's going to show up?
Oh, because they wanted me to come see what it looked like.
And?
Well, behind me, you see it. The locals here call it a college campus. That's the nickname. This is the gate she'll go through. There's no visible barbed wire, no visible fence. She's got 95 acres where she'll spend 5 months. She will work. Among the jobs she can have is working on the grounds of this facility or working in the kitchen. But one big difference, she's only going to make pennies, as little as 12 cents an hour for the work she puts in here.
Right, but she likes gardening, she likes the kitchen stuff, right?
Right,
So,
yeah. Not a bad situation.
What's to keep her from just walking out of there, other than obviously they would catch her and put her back in there forever? But
a longer sentence?
What's the visitation situation?
They have visiting on Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, it's like being in rehab. In fact, it's even... When I was in rehab, they don't let you have visitors. I've been like trying to remember it, but I think once a week, and you had to be there 2 or 3 weeks before they'd even allow that. So doesn't sound awful to me.
No, in fact, they put her here because they were very concerned about her privacy and her security as she serves her time.
Right.
As you know, Martha wanted to go to Danbury, Connecticut. But the prison camp there is so close to a road that federal sources tell us that the Bureau of Prisons was really concerned that photographers would just swarm the prison trying to get a picture of Martha as she was doing her time. Her second choice was the facility in Coleman, Florida, but the hurricanes in Florida ruined that plan.
Sure.
Because the storms have damaged so many other facilities. They moved inmates to Coleman, and now it has an overcrowding situation. So they decided to put Stewart here because it's 95 acres in a very remote part of West Virginia, in the southeast corner of the state, and they figured it would give her some privacy and security, not only just for her, but the other inmates as well.
Well, now, speaking of the other inmates, who's at this prison? They're not any crack hoes and stuff like that, right?
No. These are non-violent offenders, to my understanding.
Sure. So they would be people who had done what?
Drug charges, accessory crimes.
Well, there could be some pretty rough people.
White-collar crimes.
But if you get some people involved in drugs, that kind of thing, but no people who kill their kids, those kinds of women, like the Susan Smiths, those people, right?
The truth is, I can't tell you that for sure.
Well, what the hell have you been doing down there? Just standing around in front of the place, find out what's going on.
Yeah, I know.
For
I'm
God's sake.
slacking off again.
No, you work for NBC News. You don't work for Fox where you guys make it up.
I wasn't quite sure of that.
Well, we think it's a great idea for you to do the time with her. I'm telling you, this would be great. Make you famous, more famous than you are. I'm not interested in being in a women's prison. That's just between you and me, Ann. But this is a role made for you. You can keep a little journal,
Write a book, make some money.
write a book, make some money.
You're so kind and considerate.
No, I can see you on Dateline with that dope Stone Phillips. You still doing that? Talk to him. This is great.
You're still doing Dateline.
All right.
I'm a soulmate.
All right. Thanks, Ann, very much. What's the matter? Oh, fine. Ann Thompson, but she's happy. They told us, Ann, I want you to be on Imus this morning. Oh, yeah, that's great. I love to make her laugh. She's got a great laugh.
Oh, man.
Down there at Camp Cupcake.
Yep.
Well, there could be some crack holes there, huh?
Apparently so. She mentioned
Absolutely.
some
Drug offenders?
Drug offenders, absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah.
They violated a federal offense. Why not?
Well, it can't be all bad if Martha gets to work in the garden, or,
She gets to graze out in the out in the open.
That's fine.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My chill feel like rain. Ain't that a shame? You're the one to blame. Imus in the morning.
We'll see how
now.
because I'm sure that you have influenced people already who will also, simply watch with sound off, watch C-SPAN, and I think that your prejudices naturally will color your thinking.
Oh, that's just not true.
I think it will.
Well, you're an a-hole.
I'm an a-hole?
Yes.
Excuse me.
You are a classic a-hole.
Whoa.
Well, you're a cosmic a-hole.
Well, you're an a-hole that Stephen Hawking couldn't calculate. Oh, jeez. You know, here's the problem.
You're an a-hole that may go into who may go into parallel universes.
The reason that I'm not going to watch any commentators tonight is because you can't trust them. You certainly can't trust them on Fox. You can't trust them on. Well, you can't trust them anyplace. I don't want to pick on Fox, but you can't trust them.
Well, you can watch them with a cynical eye.
I'm not interested in what Chris Matthews thinks, for God's sake.
Pat Buchanan, you got a bunch of people that have some insight, historical insight, perspective.
I'll decide myself, and then I'll announce tomorrow what I think.
What time? 7:07.
Yeah, but the time you start paying attention.
Oh,
what is that? No, because he's trying to be, snippy with me, and I didn't like that.
Good grief.
Sid's in the studio, and Sid has sports, probably. You look like you slept in a box last night.
Yeah, well, I told you, I couldn't take my shorts out of the cleaners for a couple of weeks here. Because I was
Never
suspended.
stopped you before. Or except you didn't take yours, I'd take somebody else's out.
Your shirts
That's a good point.
else.
That's a very good point. You know, you can bet on the president election right now. You go online, you can bet on it. George Bush is the favorite. You have to, right now, you have to lay $130 to get back 100 on George Bush. And you bet 100, you get back 125 on John Kerry. You can actually bet on the presidential debate right now.
On the debate?
On the debate.
Or the,
Who will
the
win
election?
the debate? No, well, you can bet on the election as well. But there's a couple of online sites you can actually bet on tonight's debate. Who will win tonight's debate?
What are the odds on the election?
I haven't checked the election odds yet. I know Bush is the favorite, but I'll have that for you later on in the show. Yeah. It's great, isn't that?
That's probably a better barometer than anything.
Yeah, exactly. The line in the offshore line.
What's the line?
Who makes the decision who won, though?
I don't know. You know, that's a good point. I don't know. That's a good point. How do they do that?
Well, you're the expert.
You're the gambler.
No, I'm not. Obviously, Scott Muni was the expert listening to Mark Chernoff. I had no idea that Muni even dabbled in that type of stuff.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. How about the Astros?
You know, it's such a horrible sacrilege is that for a time, Sid worked at WNEW.
For a year.
And did some kind of sports show that he subsequently was fired from because it was awful.
Right. Well, they didn't renew the contract, which is fired. It's the same thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
And he had Scott Muni's old locker there.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yes, I did. The guy who did the show with me had Carol Miller's old locker. And they had like Mears' locker there and Dashow and all these guys and
St. John.
all those. And I had Muni's locker there for
Pete
a while.
Fornatel.
Yeah.
That's like him.
You like Pete Fornatel, yeah? I think I left food in that locker. It may still be there now, even 2 years later.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, it's got Muni's locker. Isn't that terrible?
It's terrible that you had it.
Well, yeah.
That's just
That's
wrong.
what's horrible.
That's two geniuses right there. Legends.
Don't raise your eyes. It's only teenage wasteland. Imus in the morning.
The differences between a BMW and a West.
A used walking tampon. That's what she is.
No, shut up.
You know when your wife's supposed to put in the garbage?
No, shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut
She is. Shut up. I'm begging, just shut up. I mean, what is the matter with you?
You know, like when the blood's still on the floor.
God almighty.
Now I sit by my window and I watch the cars. I fear I'll do some damage one fine day. But I would not be convicted by jury of my peers. Still crazy after all these years. But still crazy. Still crazy. Still crazy after all these years. Imus in the morning.
Looking for an easier way to afford the latest technology? Go to Dell Business. Right now, it's
Our traffic here in New York, and she's our news editor, and also anchors the news when we're not here. And Sid just said, Tracy, that he thinks you want him.
Oh
my God, he is delusional.
I'm fine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can say
I
whatever you
gotta
want.
change my panties now, Sid.
You can say whatever you want.
Oh, my God, I want you
can
like
say
like you're a windsock on a calm day, Sid. I do not want you, okay?
Fair enough.
Oh, wow.
By the way, the rest of the staff happens to disagree. They've met David, who seems like a very nice guy, your husband, but the rest of the staff seems to think that I could bang you anytime I want.
What are you talking about?
I'm a married guy, so I wouldn't do it, but
you can't use that kind of language to Tracy.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold.
Sorry about that.
Good God.
It's clear, though.
Isn't it clear? I mean, all kidding aside.
Oh, sure, it's clear to
It's obvious.
We're all in agreement with you, Sid.
Well, let me tell you, Sid wants me so bad. He's out there panting. He comes and he stands close to me just so I can sniff his cologne. It's like,
I don't doubt it.
I did that one time. Stop.
He doesn't have to get close. You can smell it from a mile away.
You wear cologne?
Of course I wear cologne.
You really are.
He swims in a bottle of it daily, Mr. Armis.
You are such a pig.
Not every day, because it's a Puerto Rican shower. When I don't shower sometimes in the morning, I just throw on a bunch of...
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican shower.
A Puerto Rican
That's
shower.
lovely. That's what they call it. No, that's
Or the days he steps in dog dew on the way to
I
work,
did
tried
that
to
one-
knock it off on the side of the wall.
I did that one time.
That'll be fine. Thanks, Tracy.
all right.
21 after the hour here on the Iverson Wayne program.
Pick up your underwear at my desk when you're ready.
Oh, come on.
Stop calling my house at night, too.
Clean those things, too, will you? What the hell is on the bottom of those things?
That's fine. That will be fine. That's enough.
No.
Jesus.
God almighty, you're just...
Can't walk through the news
What
without
a
falling over
horror.
He's just a babe magnet, Sid.
I'm telling you.
You are such a...
But with Tracy, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you actually took her underwear and took it into a lab or something...
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if you find our boy Tom Oliphant.
Hey, Tracy, I'll meet you at the same place, Trace.
Holy cow.
You know where I am?
Oh, God, that's enough. Stop
Outside
it.
of Boston. I'll be
That's-
right
I'm just-
there.
That's enough.
Well, Pete Gomes.
Oh, my God.
Head of School of Divinity at Harvard or Yale or wherever it is.
The homosexual guy, by
Yes,
the
he
way.
is. He's
It's fine. He's an elegant man.
Yeah.
Well, most homosexuals are elegant, by the way. How else would you describe them?
He's the moral authority on the Harvard campus.
okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
you really are. Just what's going on in sports?
By the way, with guys like that, seriously, 9 times out of 10, you find out years and years later that he's done some terrible, terrible things. You know that. It's going to come out.
Oh, it's already come out.
Oh, it has?
Oh, yeah, there were allegations of him hitting on the students.
Yeah, so.
No question about it. It's
Yeah.
out there.
No, it's there. Yeah.
He's had his problems in that area. So Sid is absolutely right.
Yeah. All these guys that act like they're holier than thou
And
all
if you
turn out to
saw-
be degenerates.
If you saw Tom Oliphant across the street, what would you think? Walking down.
Well, they have a gay pastor. I mean, come on.
Who has a gay pastor?
What are we talking about? Harvard.
Well,
Oh, boy. Well, these are your friends, huh, man? So what can I tell you?
Openly gay, I should say.
Want to talk about the Astros?
My son the other night,
Guess not.
he says he's 6 years old.
yeah.
He said he's talking to his chess teacher and mine, David Goodman, and he asked us he says, what's gay? And he's asked me this before.
Yeah.
Right. And my answer has been, I don't think it's at this point in your life. He said it's a boy likes another boy and shaves his legs.
Well,
who said that? He said that?
Yeah.
And shaves his legs. That's funny.
I said, well, whatever.
what'd you say, yes or no? I mean, did you confirm that? Or?
I said, well, essentially, that's it. I said, but it's important to remember that you don't, not to make fun of people or be mean to them.
No.
Even though it is a behavior that is outside of what I would consider, at least in this house, normal. So
Outside mainstream.
exactly.
What'd you say?
So
Okay.
that's not the way it was intended. So
Sometimes it's good when little kids ask those questions to have some type of video illustration so the child can see.
your kids.
I got one copy of Boy Toy at home if you want to borrow.
Or like Russert. Let me put this up on the screen for you.
Well, last night on The Apprentice, it was an uncomfortable moment.
Yeah.
If you were watching with your kids, with the 4 gay guys, and then...
Right. And the guy says something about oral
Yeah.
sex. Go over there
Right.
and get...
Go over there
give him a
bend
BJ
down.
and pretend you're
right.
tying your shoes.
Bend down.
Bend over.
So we can win this competition.
Yep.
And then they all like zoomed in on him.
Yep.
All the 4 guys at the table. Hey, who's that hunk?
Zoomed in on the one guy leaning out to follow him back to
That's
the
right.
kitchen.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Would you guys care for dessert?
And they gave a rave review, 4 boners up from the gay guys. It worked like a charm.
Yep.
And they won.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
did win. That's
Yeah,
exactly
they
right.
sold sex.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Survivor still get big numbers?
Yeah. One of the biggest shows on TV still to this day. Always in the top 5. Always.
So, that's 8 years down the road.
Inexplicably.
Yeah.
But how come nobody's talking about it? Everybody talks about The Apprentice, but nobody talks about Survivor.
And by the way, the first winner of Survivor, homosexual,
Right.
Richard Hatch.
Who couldn't keep his clothes on.
Couldn't- there you go.
Stereotypical homosexual.
Right.
Shoving it in your face on national TV.
Sure.
Couldn't keep
Fat.
his hatch closed.
Wandering around with his participle dangling.
Open hatch.
Richard Open Hatch.
Yep.
With apologies, of course, to Chris Berman.
Well, boy, coming up in 2 weeks, the new reality, The Losers. Did you see that?
No.
Promoed? They got a dozen fat people and...
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
They have to lose weight. They have
I
to-
saw that in August. That was the Democrat convention.
Now I know I'm dirty, and I know I smoke a lot of dope. But it ain't like I'm going on TV and tearing up pictures of the Pope. I know I get wild, and I know I get drunk, but it ain't like I've got a bunch of bodies in my trunk. My old man used to call me the no-good punk, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live till I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but God knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. I'm alright. Imus in the morning.
On July 1st, Cathay Pacific launched the only daily non-stop flight from New York to Hong Kong. So we've come here to the corner of 42nd and...
City, and sponsored by Lebenthal. And you buy your Tri-State Jeep dealer, trail-rated capability only in a Jeep. 4x4, my monitor's not up, so I don't know what the market's doing. And,
Wonder how Merck is doing.
Merck
Good
had to
Lord.
recall
Worldwide.
the drug Vioxx, which you see advertised all the time, which I actually took, and so did Charles.
One of its most important drugs, $2.5 billion in sales in 2003. And one analyst calls the recall, quote, a disaster for Merck after it was found through various clinical trials that it increases a risk of heart attack and stroke, including the possibility of sudden cardiac arrest.
What you're better off taking, well, the pharmacist over at Eisler Chemist told me, at 79th and Lex in Manhattan, the most high-priced drugstore on the planet, by the way.
Yeah.
You pay $16 more per box of Nicorette gum there than you do 10 blocks away at Rite Aid or someplace.
Crazy.
But you can't get it at Rite Aid because there's too many people there and the store's a mess.
Right.
And they won't help you. At Eisler, they're all nice guys, and I like them. And
therefore, you pay a premium for the ambiance and the service.
Here from CBS Sports is former Super Bowl winning quarterback, Phil Simms. Simms,
Hello, Donnie.
have you ever taken Vioxx?
No,
Yeah.
but I'm sure my portfolio is loaded with Merck, because that's the kind of guy I am. It's unbelievable.
Well,
The stock market, I wish I'd never been introduced to it. I make money, I could have just saved it.
yeah.
No, but I got to be a greedy pig. Get in the market.
Get those bonds going. Call Lebenthal.
I hear you. That's it. Just give me some tax-free bonds. Jesus. I didn't know that. That's good. I'm listening. That's the first I heard about Merck this morning, so that's great. Great news.
Well, hey, we had Nance on. He was great. It was great. Was he great? No, he was good. What was he, Lou?
He was between good and great.
He was between good and great.
All right, Big Jim. Away, babe.
So he was. I would say he was very good.
Well, good. I know he loves coming on, so I'm glad it worked out well for him.
Well, I tried to pretend that I was happy that he was on. I did.
You had to pretend?
Well, initially, because.
All right. Well, he
was here on the Imus Morning program, quarter till the hour here on the Imus Morning program. Yeah, he's turned into a good guest.
Who, Simms?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
speaking of nice guys.
Yeah, he is a nice guy.
No kidding.
Anyway, what's the matter, Sid?
What, Sid?
You know how many times I'll have a guest on the show and then after the guest hangs up?
Been saying that about Sims for,
You
for 2 years now.
Just discovered that? No, but sometimes we say terrible, terrible things when you're not listening, and we don't tell you about that.
What?
Well, what are you saying?
Well, I don't want to get into it. It's not
What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying every once in a while when you say, wow, wasn't that a great... Not in Phil's case, because we love Phil, but you'll say, wow, wasn't that a great guest? And we'll tell you yes, but we don't really think that sometimes. Every once in a while.
Like now, you don't think that.
Right.
You don't think Phil was that great?
No, I love Phil. Phil was great. But sometimes there are times when you'll ask me, you'll say, how was that guest? And I go, that was really good. And then I'll walk out and go, jeez, this guy kidding me?
Well, no, you got to tell me.
No, I can't tell you that.
Why? So why would you bring this up even in the context of Phil Sims?
Yeah. I don't know. I just
don't know.
Clearly sit in there and dig a hole for yourself. What's the matter with you?
Ran in to tell you nothing.
No, it's not Phil. Phil's great. Phil.
Who won the doubleheader yesterday? How about that?
That's another thing. I was watching the Yes Network last night.
Yeah.
And God, their coverage is just awful. The Yankee game ends.
Yeah.
And they put up the score 5-4 Yankees second game. And I watched for as long as I could possibly watch. They never told you who won the first game.
Oh, really?
So
very sloppy.
That is sloppy. Well, that's Fred Hickman. He works there.
It didn't get it done.
No. Susan Walden.
And they're all Michael Kay. He seems like a nice guy. And they're all Ken Singleton and they all seem like nice people. I'm sure they are, but they're awful. They're just awful. They're really.
You can't assume everybody's been watching, since 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all. I don't know they're like a lot of these people. They think that we're watching the game because they're doing it, and it wouldn't make any difference if Breen were doing it. We'd be watching it, Or Ian Eagle. Just any stooge could be doing the game.
You are not the story.
No, that's just not. That was just not it.
Well, what's the difference between those guys and let's say Chris Matthews when he's covering one of these debates or covering one of these conventions?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's no difference.
Oh, okay.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, okay. No.
12 till the hour.
Patrol.
If you're thinking Labor Day was fun...
Kane, an esoteric recording artist, blues legend, blind Mississippi white boy, Pig Feets Dupree.
Desperation in the carry camp. Clock is ticking and he under the gun. Word is now he couldn't lick a postage stamp, and he got to turn it around or that boy is done. So what's his stand today? There's just too many shades of gray, so he experimented with alternative hues. From Michigan to Wisconsin, it appears he done some bronzing. If he wore a blue suit, he looked like Howard Johnson. He got them tan Impala blues. His personality could not be duller. That's painfully plain to see. Maybe he just wants to appear to voters of color. Well, just what would that color be? Now, it's okay to look like George Hamilton if you want an image that's suave and debonair. But, Carrie, you look like you've been riding a camel, son. Or Sandpoint like some chic who've been using some fancy kind of skincare. I know you very wealthy, and I know you're trying to look healthy, copper tone from your head right down to your shoes. But everybody wondered if perhaps you may have blundered and should have used SPF 1900. Excuse me if I seem too shallow or perhaps a wee bit callow, but you look like you need to jump in a big old vat of aloe, 'cause you one hideous shade of orange. And there ain't no rhyme for orange. And for that, there just ain't no excuse. 1, 2, 3.
Imus in the morning. They're there when we need them. New York's.
So, stop dictating terms.
But I'm irritable because I didn't get any rest. And I didn't see this debate as everybody else does. So I thought Senator Kerry did. You know, obviously, if I support him, I would think he... Well, no, I wouldn't. I thought he did fine, but I didn't think President Bush was as horrible as everybody else does.
Well, it seems to be at least a consensus now. But it's early still. I mean, as everybody points out, that wait a few hours. Wait 24, 48 hours and see what the peeps do think.
Let's go to Bernard now. He's on 49th and 6th, which is where I used to go to work for 17 years.
Tell me.
Often drunk.
Tell me about that. I remember those.
Good morning, Bernie.
Morning, Chief. That's right. Right across from the scene of the crime. I don't see any phone booths out here. It's a different century, a different day. But we're out here with, what's your name, sir?
Lee.
Lee, Lee watched the debate last night. I know I learned two things last night, that George Bush still remembers who Osama bin Laden is, and I also learned that Kerry was in Vietnam. What did you learn last night?
I learned that Kerry came across as pretty much a much more articulate candidate. I think President Bush used the word freedom about, a couple thousand times. I don't think the Iraqis are free, and I don't think they think they are if they're not free to leave their house.
We also learned that Teresa Heinz Kerry was not shoved in a wood chipper by John Kerry. She reappeared last night. Is she going to help the ticket?
I don't think so. I think he's best when he's left on his own, as you could tell from his debate performance.
And what is the crucial issue for you? Is it Iraq? Is it the economy? Is it gay marriage or what?
For me, it's probably going to be Iraq. I mean, how anybody could lead us into such a brink of a disaster and actually get reelected to me is actually surprising. If I screwed up at my job the way he screwed up, I would have been fired months ago.
What do you think about the big news from last night with Hillary Clinton?
I didn't hear about the big news from Hillary Clinton.
She was apparently photographed leaving Cynthia Nixon's apartment. You think about this?
That'll be fine.
Anyways, thank you,
Thanks, Bernard. Bernard McGurk on down to 6th and 49th. We'll get back to Bernard in a little bit. Let's go to Howard. Bernard, good morning, Howard.
Greetings from Miami.
I don't mind.
Bernie always runs right into the rail eventually.
Yes. So my initial reaction was I thought President Bush did great, and then I've been informed by everybody that he didn't. So.
Well, he did all right, but he only had 30 minutes of material for a 90-minute show.
I was talking to David Remnick, and it actually made me laugh out loud. He said, and I had the same feeling that Bush kept looking down into his lights, wondering, are they ever going to go on?
Right, yeah. Just sort of wrapping the podium there. Just trying
to cause a short in the lighting
short circuit. Well, I think he was up past his bedtime also. I say that facetiously, but not entirely so. He looked tired, and they were arrogant going into this thing. I saw the Bush people the day before down here. They were practically lighting victory cigars. It reminded me of New Hampshire. Remember back in the primaries in 2000, George Bush was going to cruise. Everything was great. We got this all locked up, and then wham, John McCain nearly derailed them. And that sort of happened because they sent Bush out on yesterday morning to do some, hurricane politics. And he spent a good bit of the day doing that. And I think by the time he got there last night, 9 o'clock to 10:30, he was tired. And he didn't have enough material. And he's not a debater, so he didn't know how to answer all of those points. On style, obviously, Kerry won. Kerry needed to look presidential. He did. George Bush needed to stand up straight, and he didn't. And on the substance part of it, we've talked a million times about how we all know that when John Kerry voted for that resolution in the Senate, that he was really voting for war. We know that. We've said that a million times.
Yeah.
But Kerry can deny it now, which is what he did last night. That was the key to what he did last night. He denied that obvious fact. And George Bush and the Republicans can't.
But I don't know if he's like Brokaw, whether he'll tell you what it is.
Precisely.
That's the problem. The guys you can trust, they won't tell you.
Right.
And the guys who you can't trust are more than willing to give you their stupid in-the-tank opinion.
Well, maybe he'll commit a little bit.
Well, I will be surprised if these national polls don't show that President Bush resonated better with the peeps out there than
these instant polls.
Than these instant polls are suggesting. But Sid, who was clearly I told them all yesterday that what was going to happen, and I've been being ridiculed for my support of Senator Kerry, of course. And Sid is in here, possible, just almost suicidal, because Sid, a big Bush supporter, and now is ready to just...
He's abandoning ship?
No, I think he got annihilated last night. I don't even think it was close. I mean, if you want to use the adjective presidential, there was one guy up on stage last night that looked presidential, and it wasn't George Bush. He was a stumbling, mumbling doofus. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, Kerry was concise. He knew what he was talking about. He didn't repeat himself over and over again. Bush used the same answer for different questions all night long.
I thought Howard Fineman had an interesting analysis, and that was that he had about 30 minutes of material for a 90-minute speech.
Yeah.
Who's your sponsor for sports?
Oh, good man. Peerless Boilers. Peerless builds America's best boilers. And Pete Morgan and the guys do a fantastic job. So with the cold winter coming up, you're going to want a Peerless boiler.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I was thinking of Charles and I were talking about that the other day.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Peerless, what is it?
Peerless Boilers.
I want one.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. A couple of them. The Yankees won last night.
Yes,
What
they
else?
did. For the 7th straight year, they win the AL East. The 2-run home run by Bernie Williams, a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. They beat the Twins 6-4. The Cubs lost again yesterday, Cincinnati. The Giants won last night. The Dodgers won as well. So the Cubs are now a game back in the wild card race. The Astros were off. They're back in action tonight. And the A's won yesterday, and the Angels lost yesterday.
Yeah, that's great.
So they're tied for first in the AL West.
Let's go back to Bernard McGurk now. Bernard's out at 49th and 8th. Now he's gone over a couple of losses. Hi, Bernie.
Hey, Chief, we're out here at 49th and 6th, actually, across from 30 Rock, with the three of this country's privileged children. Two of them go to Columbia University, one goes to NYU. What's your name?
I'm Toby.
I'm Dan.
I'm Libby.
Did you guys see the debate last night?
Absolutely.
What did you think?
I thought it was great. I thought that Kerry really stepped up, and proved what kind of leader he would be. I mean, I've always had a lot of faith in him, but just for anyone who was undecided, I thought he really just stepped up.
So I'm assuming you're against the Iraq War?
Against the Iraq War, yeah, I mean, I agree with Perry about it. I think it was just completely, it was gone about in the wrong way, and I think it was a diversion from what was really going on. I think
Okay, let me ask you this. What's wrong with this kick their ass and take their gas after what they did to us on 911? What's wrong with that philosophy?
Well, if you have any concern for human life and the effects of war, I mean, gas is a fleeting resource, and if we lose relationships with so many important countries, or even like, I just, how could you support that?
Let me ask you this. Do you know who Condoleezza Rice is?
Yes.
Who is she?
She is
Don't tell me the black lady on The Apprentice.
the National Security Advisor person.
Okay, you got that right. Now listen, you young
Hey,
man.
Bernie, I got it.
Yeah, Chief.
Bernie, I have somebody who's claiming to be Senator Edwards on the line, so let me talk to him, and then we'll get back to you. It's 25 FDR. Good morning, Senator Edwards.
Good morning, Don.
Oh, it is.
I had to call to see if you were in a better mood today.
Well, I am in a little better mood, except that I actually, my instant reaction last night was I thought President Bush did fairly well. I thought Senator Kerry obviously did outstanding, but I thought President Bush did better than everybody thought he did. Then I came into this morning, and all these Bush supporters are ready to kill themselves. So
I thought Don did very, very well. I think he looked and sounded like the commander-in-chief that he's going to be. I was very impressed.
And so all you have to do now, so we tried to give you a pep talk the other day, all you have to do is go to Case Western there on Tuesday night and slam dunk Darth Vader, and I'll be getting invitations to stay in the Lincoln bedroom. I wouldn't accept them, but I could have.
I can't see you in the Lincoln bedroom. Somehow the picture is not right.
Well, the age is about right, Senator.
Oh, you're not elected yet, Senator Edwards. Let's not be yucking it up too much here. So, any other thoughts on all this?
No, I thought that John did exactly what he should have done last night. The American people saw the John Kerry that I know. They saw him They saw his strength and his conviction, and that he will finish the job in Iraq, that he will go after these terrorists wherever they are. He laid out his plans for doing that. I was very pleased, and I think the American people saw their next president last night.
Seems like he was setting you up too with that Halliburton reference.
Yeah, I heard it. I did hear him say that. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a few ideas. Well, good luck on Tuesday night, Senator.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me, Don.
You're welcome. Senator John Edwards here on the Imus Morning program. It is 27 after the hour. We'll go back to Bernard, who's... We got to talk to somebody other than just people who have no sense of humor. I don't care what they support, but, I mean, we've got to have some yucks here. And we'll be back to, in a couple of minutes, we'll talk with Tim Russert and see what he thought, so...
Good.
Well, there's somebody who you could...
Oh, absolutely. I would expect nothing but just the straight dope from Mr. Russert.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Certainly.
Wonder if will we actually be able to see him, or he was trying to minimize that bulldog look.
The Russert scowl.
The Russert scowl. I mean, man, did he look just like, well, these are our guys, so what are we going to do?
While they didn't talk at all, the fuel rods came out. The inspectors were kicked out, the television cameras were kicked out, and today there are 4 to 7 nuclear weapons in the hands of North Korea. That happened on this president's watch.
Hey, Imus in the morning.
Tonight, the new season of...
55 degrees under clear skies in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
8 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning program. Let's go back to Bernard now, who is at 49th and 6th. Bernie?
Chief, yes, we're out here in Midtown Manhattan getting the reaction of the peeps. I'm here with my Long Island homeboy, Patrick, from Hempstead, Strong Island. Patrick, the Kerry supporter. Patrick, how did you think Mr. Kerry did last night, Senator Kerry?
Well, I think he was very concise in his responses to the questions that were asked. And he shows like a person that knows what he's about. And
let me ask you, what did he say for the black man last night in particular? Yeah, by the way, he just added Reverend Jesse Jackass. What's he going to provide, the illegitimate deadbeat dad vote or what?
Well, I didn't hear any black issues of such. He spoke generally for people, and that's what I like about him. He looks like a people person. He's not into any sect or race. He's just about the well-being and the welfare of people.
You're the man. Peace, love, and happiness, Bumbleclot. And let's go over here to my man Tom is a Bush supporter here, one of the rare ones out here. Tom, where are you from, by the way?
Holbrook, Arizona.
Tom looks like a very mean hombre.
Hey,
Tom's got
Bernie,
yeah.
I want you to go back to see the people with the Kerry Edwards sign. Go back.
Yes, I see them.
Go back and beat the hell out of them. God,
as a matter of fact,
that is annoying. Get those people off my television.
Do you guys hear the
6 minutes till the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. God, that is annoying. And I mean, I love Senator Kerry, but enough of these idiots. God, get them off of my television. Get them off. That's it's absurd. Jesus. Or some dope with a cowboy hat on and with a Bush sticker. Enough of this.
Standing there.
Just get these people out of here. Enough. Don't put those people on television.
Bring it on.
Oh, God, that's just annoying.
I wonder who they're for.
Oh, this idiot's got a Jack Daniels sticker on a dopey Walgreens cowboy hat. Honest to God, I mean, talking to these people is a horrible idea.
Ain't that America for you
God.
and me?
Hey, let's all get some guns.
They might as well have them out there.
Oh, my God. Well, anyway, Pat Buchanan's coming out. We'll talk to him. Good. Then Jim Lair will be on. And I want to remind you, Rob Bartlett and the Bartletts are performing Saturday, October 9th at the Rochester Opera House in Rochester, New Hampshire. So it's going to be a big show, all new material. No more Dogs at a Cocktail Party. But Kitties at a Crack House, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But go to robshow.com for tickets, or contact the Rochester Opera House in Rochester, New Hampshire, to see Rob and the Bartletts on Saturday night, October 9th. The Yankees won the American League East last night.
7 years running, man.
And other stuff happened, but none of it really interests me.
You're right about that.
Who's going to win out in the West? Giants?
In the NL West? No, the Dodgers will win the division.
Who's going to win the wild card?
Houston.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, and the Angels will take 2 or 3 from Oakland this weekend, and Anaheim will go to the playoffs as well.
Okay, thanks, son.
Imus in the morning.
What's the matter with you?
We had these twins from Texas, Debbie and Patty. Did you guys see that? They were in New York for their birthday.
Yes, yes.
Did you guys watch the debate last night?
No, sir, we got here too late.
Are you going to vote?
Absolutely.
Who are you voting for?
Kerry. Bush. Kerry. Bush.
Now, these girls are 50-year-old twins. Let me ask you this. Have you girls ever dated the same guy?
No, we have different tastes in men. Obviously.
And now, so listen, so who are you going to vote for? Bush?
Bush, definitely.
Why?
Now he sounds like Bush repeating the questions. We just went through all that. Well, thank you, Bernard. We'll be back to you shortly. 25 minutes after the hour, Jim Lair's going up.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. Imus in the morning.
Okay, so I added up what I'm paying a month for SBC.
Thank you, Mr. Amos. Northbound Garden State Parkway reopened at exit 155, but residual delays back to 147. 45-minute delays at the Lincoln, 15 at the Holland, 30 at the George Washington Bridge. The Imus in the morning forecast, mostly sunny skies today, high temperature in the mid-70s. 56 degrees in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
It is 13 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning Program, and now from Fox Sports. The man who won 41 Super Bowls.
Right.
The great Terry Bradshaw. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning. How's everyone this morning?
You sound drunk, Terry.
Don, how's everyone? Everybody good?
We're fine.
Good.
You sound drunk.
Boy, I tell you, I got a hangover from watching that debate. That's what I got.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I'm one of those that gets really uncomfortable when people kind of go at one another.
Yeah.
And then I mute it. But just, I'm serious. Have you ever been uncomfortable in a situation as a viewer and you just squirm a little and you just go, oh, God, I wish I could mute this? So I had the mute button on last night. Just when I got uncomfortable, I just muted a little bit and then I was all right.
At what point did you mute it?
You know what? This is kind of my observation.
Yeah.
First of all, I thought that Kerry was, and I'm a Republican, but I'm one of these Republicans that's smart. I'm smart enough to realize that the good and bad in both of these guys, and not just say Republican this, Democrat that, black and white. It's idiotic, But I understand how that works, but that's not me. But I just thought that our president, he looked frustrated. He looked like, why do I have to be here?
Yeah. I'm sure
he didn't answer the questions as well, and I thought he could have. He didn't defend himself, and I thought John Kerry definitely got the advantage. He was polished, well versed. He knew what he wanted to do, and he slammed it home. And he kept, and the president kept coming back about, well, look, you voted for the war. You voted for it, instead of letting Kerry say, yeah, but I voted for it under these conditions that you presented to us. Well, he didn't defend himself. He just, look, you voted for it. Well, that made me real unnervous. And then George W. would stutter and stammer a little bit. Then I'd mute it.
Did you put on a pair?
Did
you put on a pair of panties before you decided to call me this morning?
No. No. Oh, you think I'm being wimpy? Is that it?
You've been out there in
I
Hollywood.
have 3 words for you this morning. Bradshaw for president. I think that would be, the way I see it, the experts want, say one candidate is long-winded, say the other isn't too smart. Why not me for president? You get both. There you are, right there.
Talking with Terry Bradshaw of Fox Sports.
I bet it wasn't for your family either, was it? That debate for the Imus family.
Well,
they didn't. Well, did they talk about Medicare, college money for 20-year-olds, which affect what, you and your wife? So there you have it.
Who's the number?
Got you on the defense now, don't I?
Oh, yeah. Well, a little bit, yeah. Who's the number 1 quarterback you picked last Sunday? I can't remember.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Right.
Not Peyton Manning.
No.
And that was based on because of who's been winning, right?
Yeah, it's all about championships with me. Yeah. Now, if I stack the 2 kids up side by side and say, look at all the yardage and touchdown passes and stuff like that, and then I look at the 2, it's a no-brainer. But then if you do all of that, then you take into consideration, well, is winning Super Bowls important? And I happen to know that of all the few people that have ever come up to me on the streets. Not one has ever said, how many yards did you throw for? How many touchdown passes? It's all about, show me, do you have a ring on? And so that's just my criteria. That's how I value a quarterback, or I judge them. And I think in history, as their careers unfold and
well, you made the right decision.
Then we had the option of going to Terry Bradshaw or you.
You also made the right decision there going to Terry.
Right.
And
we don't have any confidence.
And I guess you just kind of run out of people to go to. I mean, or did you punch the button up by mistake?
No, they do it in there, so.
So you didn't have any choice.
Well, no, I could have not said anything, and so. But when the choice was you or nothing,
then
we did go to you.
But you can get both. You can get me and nothing.
Well, yeah. So did you watch the debate?
Yes, I did.
And?
Well, I think the reason you think Kerry won is because, well, he stood up straighter, and of course he's better prepared, and he's more comfortable in that situation. However, if you think about, do you think it's a good idea we individually talk to North Korea, or we're going to be safer under a Kerry administration? Or that the Iraqis are going to we're going to be able to train the Iraqis faster with Kerry in office, or that we can inspect every shipping container comes into this country, then it will take people a couple of days to realize how absurd that is. Yeah. And Kerry's was like a plate of food, I mean, you get there, they bring the food, the waitress brings you the food, and you say, man, this looks great. Then you taste it, and it's awful. You send it back to the kitchen.
Right.
That's my assessment of Kerry. I mean, and then, the telling point, he said the subways were shut down during the Republican convention, and you said they weren't?
Right.
Well, so there's a guy that they're just feeding him stuff to say who'll say anything.
Well, yes.
And Bush made me uncomfortable. I mean, those, like Howard Feynman was right on the money, and I thought the same thing last night. He had 30 minutes of prepared material, and after that, he had nothing. And these pauses, Bush paused once, and I got up and went to the bathroom, come back and didn't miss anything.
You were going to tell us about...
Oh, no, I let that dog sleep, everything's fine.
Well, does your general manager...
Oh, everything's fine. Everything's just fine,
Does your general manager realize he's an idiot?
Everything's fine. The general manager's a great guy doing a fine job here in Tucson, Arizona. I just love everybody down there. I'm just looking forward to doing a great show today.
All right. You are such a sellout kiss-ass that it's frightening. You have to get in their face. You should always have an adversarial relationship with management. I have for how long, Charles?
Forever.
Forever.
I know you have, but it works for you.
Every once in a while you got to throw them out of your office, which I do all the time. Well, lately...
See, I don't have an office.
I want to throw them out of your truck.
No, everything's fine. It actually is a good place to work, really. And Tucson now, this time of year is a perfect time to live in Tucson. Sure. It's just wonderful.
Well, all right. Well, sounds... You're going to pick some games, or?
Oh, absolutely picking some games.
Hurry up. We haven't got much time.
Okay. Green Bay's favored 7 over the New York Giants. I'll take the Giants in the 7 points.
I like it.
New England's 5.5 over Buffalo. I'll take Buffalo in the 5.5 points.
Oh, is that stupid?
That's an idiotic.
Oh, that is so stupid.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, when Sunday comes, we'll see.
Okay.
Jets 6 over Miami. I'll give up that 6 points to take the Jets.
I like it.
Denver 3 over Tampa Bay. I'll give up the 3 points to take Denver.
Don't like it.
Oh, you're an idiot, Sid.
Huh?
Who's an idiot?
You are.
For what?
Yeah, really, man.
Well, wait a second. You think that the Bills are going to cover against the Patriots? They scored a total of 20 points in 2 games, Buffalo. They can't score. Patriots are going to go to Orchard Park and romp on the Bills.
They are?
Your brother's going to go 2-2. You're going to lose the Denver game, and you're going to lose the Buffalo game. And by the way,
we'll see.
By the way, why
doctor?
Why are you talking about John Kerry?
Francesa.
That's Francesa. Why are you talking about Kerry and some of the things that he said incorrectly? Why don't you bring up the fact that Bush said we have 100,000 trained troops in Iraq when you're lucky if there's 40,000 trained right now? But you leave that part out. You know why?
No, why?
Because you're about as misinformed as those two guys are. You're an idiot.
Yeah, well, Bush is going to be the next president, so you better get used to that.
Doesn't matter. You're still going to live in a trailer in Tucson. How about that?
I'm taking Mark Martin to win at talent.
It's hard work. But again, I want to tell the American people, we're doing everything we can at home, but you better have a president who chases these terrorists down and bring them to justice before they hurt us again.
Well, I walked up to the bar. I laid down my platinum card. Then I ordered 50 long necks for my new friends. Well, the barmaid passed them out. And before we chucked them down, I held mine up, said, here's to us, and then, well, this blonde slid up to me. She said, that was awful sweet. And then I saw her boyfriend as wide as he was tall. Well, he broke up our hug with a 6'5" shove. And I found myself slammed up against the wall. Why does everybody want to kick my ass? I'm just trying to have a little fun for all the ones who can't. And just because I kiss the prettiest girls and I drive my truck too fast. Why does everybody want to kick my
Imus in the morning.
All right, people, we need new computers.
WD model with sun.
All right. 17 after the hour here at the Imus Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. So we have in the studio Michelle Salvatore and Eddie Scazzeri, two of the more interesting people who work here at the radio station. As an aside, I was telling Eddie the traffic story that Lou told me yesterday.
Oh, the Taliban story.
The Taliban story.
Right.
So I asked Eddie if he'd heard it, and he said no.
Which is lying.
What?
No,
Lou's told that story so many times.
But I hadn't heard it, actually.
Eddie hadn't heard it.
Okay.
So Michelle, who I don't know if I've ever met an absolute more clueless but sweet person.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Very sweet. But I mean,
I love you, Mr. Imus.
so I'm telling the story, and she says, "Oh, is that the Taliban story?" There it goes.
I
There
killed
goes
his
the
punch.
punch.
I did.
There
I
goes the
killed his
punchline.
punchline.
There goes the story.
I
there
apologize.
And now you look like you slept, as Charles said, in R. Kelly's car last night.
I'm wearing a hat.
You look.
It's Friday. I stayed up late last night.
Why?
Because I was watching the debate.
Oh, you weren't?
Yes, I was.
Okay, that's why you're in the studio.
Yep.
So tell me who are you going to vote for before the debate?
President Bush.
Okay, who are you going to vote for now?
President Bush.
Why?
Well, because I'm not basing it on a debate. I'm basing it on more principal values that go back before I saw the debate.
Okay, so you weren't. You
No, I'm not. I'm not one of the people that they're targeting right now.
So
I just watched to watch.
You weren't dissuaded that the president appeared.
Well, everyone says he appeared stupid and dumb, and everyone says that he really got knocked out by Kerry, and I didn't get that. I still kind of thought he was like really likable. Like, he's a good guy.
See, I actually didn't think that either.
Well, I haven't seen anybody who said it was a knockout. They said he was off his game.
I thought my initial reaction, and I'm a Kerry supporter.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought he did great, and then I was shocked when everybody said he did horrible.
Well, this is the thing. I didn't think either one of them did great, but I didn't think that he did particularly bad either. I didn't think the debate was anything to really talk about. They stuck with their same points over and over again, and I really just kind of, yeah, I didn't hear anything new.
Michelle, please,
Okay.
be quiet. I'm begging you.
My turn.
You asked her.
I know I asked her, but I mean, you just got to be quiet.
Oh, she has it nailed.
Now, here now, Eddie Scazzeri, who Well, he's got a pair of panties on, so we know where you're coming from. Did you watch the debate, Eddie?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
What did you watch?
Navy Air Force was on, as Connecticut-Pittsburgh was also on. 2 college football games. That's what I was watching.
Who won Navy Air Force?
Naval Academy.
Oh, they did?
On a late field goal. They're 5-0, I believe now.
How's that Army thing working out for Minko?
Not too well.
John Minko's a guy who you perhaps know.
Yeah.
From this program occasionally. He's a play-by-play radio guy for the Army football team. We saw Minko yesterday. Charles and I were back in my office, and
it's troubling.
There's a mirror on my door in which you can see people walk into the hallway bathrooms there. And Minko just looked really troubled, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Hanging his head and
all despondent.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, we don't know. This doesn't look like
doesn't look like a happy man.
So you saw none of the debate?
Zero. It was going to be worthless. Just like the conventions, it's all BS, and, you get what you need to know from the newscast the next morning. I've already made my mind up. It wasn't going to change.
Who are you going to vote for?
President Bush.
What?
I know I look like a communist, but I'm actually a Republican. Even though I support gay marriage and abortion, and I'm a tree hugger, and I believe in aliens and don't believe in God.
You support abortion?
Yeah.
You support killing children?
Yeah, sure.
You see that? Why don't you go kill yourself?
You want to think about it for a second? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good to me.
You mean you're killing them? Oh, okay.
Let's kill some kids.
I understand everybody in this country doesn't agree with the decisions I made. And I made some tough decisions. But people know where I stand. People out there listening know what I believe. And that's how best it is to keep the peace.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright. And I pity any boy who isn't me tonight. See the pretty boy in the mirror there, looking at the attractive guy be. Such a pretty face, such a pretty face, such a pretty me, baby. I'm just starting and enchanted, feel like a running and dancing for joy. For I'm in love like a pretty, wonderful boy. Shut up.
Imus in the morning.
And they're off. Out of the gate, it's